People may not always tell us in words what they feel, but they do communicate their feelings in their tone of voice, in their facial expression, and in other nonverbal ways. At the very least, empathy requires being able to read another person's emotional experience. It entails sensing and responding to a person's unspoken concerns or feelings. According to Daniel Goleman, empathy is our social radar. And in business, it's at this level of emotional exchange that we have the potential to make the most effective connections with other people. Emotions convey crucial information that transcends the content of the words used, and connecting with them establishes a valuable emotional contract. They're part of an emotional economy that passes between people, and if you get it right, you will greatly enhance your capacity to influence others to achieve what is impossible without their emotional buy-in. So let's focus now on 3 specific strategies to build your optimism. Optimism is developed by the way you talk to yourself inside your head, what in psychology we call your explanatory style. Optimists see problems typically as temporary and controllable and linked to specific situations rather than permanent and intractable. So the way you talk to yourself will not only determine how you feel, but also the range of options that you're capable of seeing as you move forward. The good news is that although your explanatory style has become a habit over time, you can learn to change this mindset. How you interpret an event is under your control and involves at least 3 strategies. Look for the benefit, seek the valuable lesson, and focus on the task. So let's look at the first strategy, look for the benefit. Most people tend to spend too much time thinking about what goes wrong in their lives and not near enough time considering what goes right. In most of what happens to us, however difficult, there will always usually be something of benefit that we can extract from the experience. When people lose their job, maybe as a result of the financial crisis, they focus instead on what they do still have, their family, their friends, their health, or they look for new opportunities to open up. So when doors close, choose to put a positive spin on the situation and consider what doors may have opened. Find the valuable spin-off. For example, does this disappointment remind you to value what you have more closely, the people in your life, and other opportunities? All of us experience anxiety and disappointment and setbacks. But for optimists, they've learned to limit the damage by containing the disappointment or setback and refuse to let it become pervasive and pervade the rest of their lives. So instead, cultivate an attitude of gratitude for all the good that is still in your life, for your strengths, for the people you know, for the skills you have, and the resources that you have access to. Remember the Melinda Gates comment earlier. Optimism for me, she said, isn't a passive expectation that things will get better. It's a conviction that we can make things better, that whatever suffering we see, no matter how bad it is, we can help people if we don't lose hope and we don't look away. This takes remarkable emotional courage, but at times it's the only way forward. So when challenged, respond in a positive, constructive way and celebrate the opportunities that this situation may open up for you. One characteristic that generally stands out in optimistic people is the ability to maintain a hopeful attitude by learning from the lessons of a previous experience to improve the situation. After an important event, both winners and losers examine how they performed, but underachievers almost inevitably rehash the mistakes they've made, or the price they've had to pay, and the failures that they may have experienced. Whereas optimists, by contrast, are those who think positively about themselves and the lessons that they've learned. So instead of focusing on situations as mistakes, where you punish yourself over errors of judgments, choose instead to focus on the valuable lessons to be learned from the experience. This frees you from a preoccupation with being stuck in the past and recasts the experience as a positive force, generating new ways to improve performance in the future. train yourself to respond to negative situations with the thought, what can I learn from this situation that will make me better the next time I face it? And constantly review the best parts of your performance. Make plans to repeat those actions again and again. As a leader, one of the most important contributions that you'll make is to remember to be the bearer of good news. Show up and redirect people's attention on the tasks that are done well and the opportunities that are yet still to be responded to. So when something negative happens, rather than allow yourself to be consumed by the negative emotions for too long, such as anxiety or frustration, anger, or even low mood, focus instead on the immediate tasks that need to be done to move the situation forward. See the problem as a temporary setback rather than a permanent condition. And change the definition of the problem that you're facing into a challenge. Your response to the problem will then be much more positive and constructive rather than negative or even angry. When you experience a disappointment of any kind, your natural reaction is to feel stunned emotionally. You feel as though you've had the wind taken out of you. You might feel hurt or let down or discouraged. Sometimes you might even feel like rocking in the corner with a Jack Daniels. The important thing is not to take things too personally. Instead, see the set of circumstances that really created the situation. And no matter what happened, if you're able immediately to say, every experience is a valuable experience if I view it as an opportunity for growth and self-mastery, it will help you to control your emotions and enable you to see the potential of changing your circumstances. From the perspective of emotional intelligence, then, optimism involves remembering to focus on the bigger picture with a genuine sense of the opportunities and possibilities available. Remember, optimism isn't a passive expectation that things will get better. It's a conviction that we can make things better. Taken together, these approaches are not wishful thinking or naive attempts to put on a brave face. They are intelligent, considered approaches to dealing with very real, difficult realities. Over time and with practice, they are the steps for creating an optimistic and powerful strategy for building emotional capital in life and in business. No wonder optimism is such an essential skill to anyone looking to inspire and influence other people.